Yuan finds a new home. Suddenly, the ground began to shake violently. The cave trembled uncontrollably, jolting Yuan into action. Without hesitation, she darted out the entrance, her 8 legs scrambling to escape.
As she emerged, Xiaoyuan saw her neighbors, Xiaodian and Zhong, racing past in a panic. They turned back shouting, "Xiaoyuan, hurry! Follow us!" Normally calm and slow-moving, their frantic behavior alarmed her.
Then, a deafening metallic screech filled the air behind her. Yuan froze, a chill running down her spine. She slowly turned her head, her eyes widening in horror. Her legs quivered uncontrollably, and her claws clicked nervously. Massive excavators, their tracks grinding into the earth, were advancing toward her. "Run for your lives! Wait for me!"
Xiaoyuan sprinted forward, shouting as she raced after her neighbors.
She headed toward the sound of waves crashing on the beach, her legs moving with the speed of a sprinter and the endurance of a marathon runner. Her path was blocked by a towering concrete wall. Remembering her family's migration route, she knew that following the wall and listening for the waves would lead her to a gap, a safe path to the sea. Every autumn, her family used this route to leave their caves and lay eggs in the ocean. "I made it! This gap will lead me to safety." Panting heavily, Yuan paused to catch her breath. She glanced back at the destruction, and tears rolled uncontrollably down her cheeks. "Our home! It's all gone!" Excavators churned the soil relentlessly, flattening the once lush wetland into a barren and flat land. "We'll find a new home." Determined, Yuan wiped away her tears and faced the sea with resolve. To her right lay a rocky coastline, extending into the water. To her left, a stretch of sandy beach, interspersed with gray concrete, with a faint patch of greenery visible in the distance. Choosing the left path, Yuan set out to find a new home, somewhere close to the shore, nestled in green grass. As Yuan took a few steps forward, a sand crab, perfectly camouflaged with the sandy beach, suddenly appeared like a ghost.
It's not yet midsummer spawning season. What are you doing here?
Zhao asked curiously, his face filled with suspicion. Choking back her emotions, Yuan quickly recounted her harrowing experience to her old friend. "Now I can only move forward to find a new place to call home," Yuan declared resolutely, raising his asymmetrical claws, one big and one small. Zhao cheered her on, wishing her success in finding a new home. As Yuan and Zhao were talking, she suddenly sensed something unusual ahead. They both crouched low, pressing close to the sand, and holding their breath. 2 human legs approached cautiously, the hands above them holding a camera that clicked incessantly. Snap, snap. The humans circled around, taking shots from every angle, front, side, above. Yuan, unwilling to be intimidated, waved her hefty, uneven claws fiercely to scare the humans away. Watching from the side, Zhao grew worried. He knew Yuan's slow pace made her an easy target for capture. Showing off his incredible speed, Zhao darted in front of the humans, drawing their attention away. As expected, the humans immediately shifted focus to Zhao. Captivated by the sight of the feisty sand crab, they chased after him toward the other end of the beach. Once free of danger, Yuan pressed on. Nearing the end of the beach, she found her path blocked by piles of filthy, discarded waste. The trash covered the ground, making it impossible for her to move forward. Forced to stop, Yuan climbed up the gray and black seawall. Looking left and right, she decided to take the most terrifying option, the coastal highway. This highway, running alongside the coast, was notorious. Each year, several mother crabs from Yuan's family, heavy with eggs, would try to cross it to release their young into the sea, only to meet their end under the wheels of passing cars. But in her quest for a new home, Xiao Yuan had no choice but to brave this perilous path.
Determined to stay safe, Xiao Yuan waited until sunset before setting off.
Let's go, be brave and move forward. She mustered her courage and whispered to herself. Carefully, she tiptoed along the edge of the road, keeping her senses sharp and staying alert for any danger. At that moment, Xiao Yuan noticed a shadow darting behind her. She immediately crouched low to wait and see what the uninvited guest would reveal. In a flash, a small black dog, 10 times her size, appeared before her. Xiao Yuan instinctively raised her massive claw in a defensive stance. Follow me again, and I'll pinch you with my claw. The little black dog was not to be outdone. It raised its front paws, mimicking an attack. The crab and the dog stood their ground, engaged in an intense standoff, neither daring to make the first move. Their standoff was interrupted by the distant call of the dog's owner. Hearing the voice, the black dog turned and trotted away, dissolving the tense scene. Relieved, Xiao Yuan let down her guard and continued on her journey. Deep into the night, the roadside streetlights still glowed brightly, guiding her way. Following the sound of crashing waves, she pressed forward. The waves grew louder and clearer with each step. Soon, sparkling white crests of foam glimmered in the distance. Yay! I finally made it through this dangerous path. Xiao Yuan couldn't contain her excitement and joy. Crossing the road, Xiao Yuan descended a slope of stacked stones to reach a muddy tidal flat. She navigated along the edge of the intertidal zone and eventually entered a vast, black, rocky shore. As she advanced, she encountered fiddler crabs, waving their claws aggressively to challenge her. Smooth spooner crabs, busy scraping algae off rocks, occasionally glanced her way. Young crabs of various species were scattered about, peacefully enjoying their meals.
Hi, why are you walking from the far side of the beach instead of coming down from the land?
A smooth spooner crab paused its algae scraping, raised a claw, and greeted Xiao Yuan. My old home was destroyed by humans, so I'm searching for a new place to live now, Xiao Yuan replied simply.
I see. That's unfortunate.
The smooth spooner crab expressed sympathy for Xiao Yuan's plight.
Up ahead is a land bridge. You probably won't be able to cross it.
The smooth spooner crab offered a small piece of advice to Xiao Yuan. Xiao Yuan thanked the kind, smooth spooner crab and continued walking. After a short distance, she saw a few square-legged crabs scraping algae from rocks. Between the rocks, a small stream of fresh water trickled into the intertidal zone. Xiao Yuan could tell the difference between fresh and salt water. She liked areas where fresh water flowed through and felt she was getting closer to her future home. Suddenly, a strong, fishy scent wafted in from the coast. Xiao Yuan turned toward the shoreline, where the entire beach was covered in a layer of bright red floating material. Looking closely, she realized the water was clean and unpolluted. It was coral spawn. This is it! Xiao Yuan raised her claws high in celebration and shouted excitedly. However, the towering concrete land bridge ahead stretched across to the other side, casting a shadow on her newfound enthusiasm. Out of nowhere, a group of people descended from the roadside to the intertidal zone. They waded into knee-deep water, forming a circle as they planted handfuls of seaweed into the muddy seabed.
Xiao Yuan hid behind some rocks, watching their every move.
Suddenly, a stick gently poked at her large claw. Alarmed by the unexpected danger, Xiao Yuan scurried away as fast as she could, but accidentally ran straight into an orange bucket. The bucket's smooth surface was too slippery for her to climb out, no matter how hard she tried. Xiao Yuan decided to stay still at the bottom of the bucket, conserving her energy and waiting for the right moment to escape. During her time in the bucket, human faces occasionally appeared above her, exclaiming, What a big crab! Before long, the bucket was suddenly tipped over. Sensing her chance, Xiao didn't hesitate. She bolted out, scurrying into a lush green field.
Worried about being pursued, she ran forward without looking back.
Before she could catch her breath, a fierce brown land crab appeared.
Where are you from, stranger?
He blocked Xiao path. Seeing a fellow crab, Xiao couldn't help but wave her claws and legs in excitement. The brown land crab eyed her suspiciously. Once Xiao calmed down, she recounted her journey,
How humans had destroyed her home.
how harrowing escape across dangerous man-made roads, and her injuries along the way before finally reaching this new land.
Welcome! Feel free to live here with us.
The brown land crab led Xiao on a tour, introducing her to the environment and the neighbors. Xiao picked a spot and immediately began digging her new home. This area was a broad field of short grass with a few scattered shrubs and a low wall separating it from the man-made road outside. The leaves and grass roots provided enough food for the small crab community. For a treat, they could venture across the road to the seaside and feast on rotting fish carcasses. Xiao loved her new surroundings. During the day, she would occasionally peek her stalk-like eyes out of her burrow to watch children playing soccer and running across the grass. At night, she could roam leisurely, visiting other burrows in the peaceful darkness. Here, there was no shortage of food and no human interference, and there was a truly comfortable life.